Hey guys, this is the next episode. Well, where to start? What should today's topic be? Let's get a little out there. Some people think that, well, they put blind faith into science. They just say science knows everything, science proves everything. And I'm not a creationalist, but I just want, and yeah, I support science and I support it all the way, but I, I don't think people understand that everything we've been taught could be wrong. It could be completely wrong. We could just look at it and say, yeah, that's right, but really, it's just an illusion that our brains made, like math. We don't know if it actually means anything or if it's just patterns our brains recognize. Either way, it proves a few things, but even we can't actually prove that math exists. And if you can, good for you. Good for you. I don't care. You can tell me, you can prove me wrong. All you're doing is growing my intelligence. And that's how we'll see everything. It's when people start betraying me and trying to hurt me that it makes me mad. Like my friends. They don't really respect me because I'm smart. But that's another story. Now, back on topic. Everything we know could be wrong. We've always been told that there's Mars, Mercury, Earth, Saturn, Uranus, Jupiter, Pluto, blah 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 blah. Those planets. The planets. But there could be way more planets in our solar system than we actually know. And I know what you're saying. Well, shouldn't be that hard. I mean, that's because all throughout school you look at a diagram and they're like these giant circles and they look fairly easy to spot, but I dare you, go outside during nighttime, look up at the sky, and tell me where the planets are. Okay? Without any previous knowledge, tell me where the planets are. You probably couldn't. That's because they may be really big, but compared to everything else, they're tiny. They're just these little dots, faint little dots in the sky with a few million others. It's hard for people to grasp things like that they've been learning for 30 years the same thing, and they've always been taught the same thing, and for someone to walk up and say that could be wrong, people don't like that. They're like, no, it's right, I've been taught it for 30 years, it's right. They get a little protective, they don't look at the facts. That's kind of the problem with science. It's based off humans. In order for science to work, there needs to be no emotion involved. It might be like, well, let's get the computers to do all our science. Well, then we wouldn't really exist anymore, because the computers could kill us fairly easily. They just have to shut down for a month. The human race would go extinct extremely fast within a month if we lost all technology. Imagine if you were picked up and put in the wild alone. Would you know what to eat, what not to eat, what water was safe to drink? I'd say about 0.001% of the earth actually knows that stuff. And there's people in Africa and stuff like that where they live out of huts they built out of wood, and they drink water that they've made or got from the stream or whatever, and they'll probably survive. They won't see much change. But if you took away all their tools, because we've given them a lot of wells and stuff like that. The thing is, if you took that away, they would all need water. They would exhaust their only water supply and their only food supply, and they'd all starve or dehydrate themselves to death. There's a major problem going on with this earth right now. If we lost all our tools and all of our maths and all, like, we wouldn't even have to lose our intelligence. If we lost all the tools that we have, we would just die. Like technology, tools, if we lost it all, we'd just die really quickly. There'd be some people who could live for a long time, like farmers. They've got plenty of food and water, but how long until the people of cities get hungry and they know there are farms out there with food, and they run in and they ransack the place and rip all the crops out and take all their wheat? Well, do they even know how to turn that wheat into bread or food? No. They just took a whole bunch of food and destroyed it and died. Sure, some people might, but what happens when that runs out? You plant more seeds, okay. Well, are you really thinking that far ahead in an apocalypse? No, you're just taking food and running before someone else comes along and kills you for your food. Human beings are survivalists. We panic at the first sight of chaos. Every time something comes up, like the Ebola thing, everyone panics. Everyone. My dad used to think like me, and I used to think like him. But then he got married to his wife, and he kind of changed his view on things. He used to be like me, where he would take the pros, the cons, the outcomes, how it would affect everything, the individual person, and then he'd figure out, is it really a problem? Well, any disease is a problem, but we have to look at it a lot differently than we usually do. With this Ebola thing, Ebola's existed for a long time, and it's a terrifying disease. But it's not really that scary. Like, for people in Northern America, it's not that big of a deal. It's not going to be able to spread that quickly. It dies fairly quickly outside of the body. Yeah, there's a lot of bad things with it, and it can spread fairly quick, and it can kill very quickly. But if you just take the proper precautions, you won't take it or get it. Like, look, the thing was like, panic, everyone panic, Ebola, it's a crisis, everyone panic, people are dying everywhere, and everyone started freaking out. Like, Haley looked at me, and I should probably bleep out that name, I'm gonna have to do that, yeah. But she looked at me and she asked me what my opinion was on Ebola was, and I looked at her and I said, I don't have an opinion. And she said, what? And I was like, I don't have enough information to make an accurate judgment on it. And she kind of looked at me and laughed, and I was like, no, I'm serious. Like, the pros from it, people are, well, there aren't really any pros to a disease. The cons of it, yeah, people are dying and it's spreading and it's a horrible disease. But can it reach us? Not really that easily. Can it spread up here? Not really. And as long as you take the proper precautions, you won't get it. We didn't have that much to worry about. And people kind of overlooked that and just kind of panicked, which is what humans do. We panic. We want a reason to be afraid. Because deep down, we're still animals. We still want the exact same things as animals. We want food, eat, sleep, safety. But if we have safety for too long, we're gonna start wanting danger because we're still animals. We gotta remember that. So we want a reason to panic. Every time a disease like this comes along, people panic, people freak out. And I understand why, and good for them, but there's not really anything to worry about. We're pretty much safe. It's a terrible disease and we need the help of the people who have it, but we don't have that much danger from it. And it's also a way to learn from this Ebola thing. Ebola's been here for many years, over 30 years. I know that for a fact. It's been here on this planet for a long time. And all of a sudden it starts breaking out. Because people's immune systems are way down because all this alcohol and drug abuse, that's one thing. The other thing is we use all this hand sanitizer and we get really clean and we keep our children away from everything so they can't build up an immune system. Their bacteria don't know what to kill, so they don't really kill anything. So when a crisis like this happens, Ebola comes in and it kills everything it touches because we can't fight it with our immune systems. It's just, I don't know if people know how flu shots and stuff like that work. What they do is they take a dead virus, like the cold virus, dead, and then they inject it into you so that it introduces this dead virus into your immune system, and your immune system finds out how to fight it. So that when you get it, your immune system can kill it like that. Now, how do our immune systems fight something they've never seen before? They've never had any experience. Think about it this way. Which army would do better? An army of 100 soldiers that have been to war thousands of times. They've fought many enemies and different strategies. Or 100 soldiers that have never seen war before. Who's gonna win? The people who have seen war before are gonna win. You can't just I'm rambling. You probably understand what I mean at this point. I'm running out of time, so I gotta go. Okay, bye.